then you can get in there and decide what you want to do and go off individually, drop your name in and say, I'm a NASA team, I'm a private company, whatever, here's my abstract, my business plan, here's my time, my time goals, and here's how you contact me. And I'm going to work on a lunar-based drill bit. And you curl up in there and you start working on that. Now everybody knows who to talk to about the lunar-based drill bit. It's a three-dimensional matrix because somebody on Mars is going to do the same thing, and somebody in free space is also going to be doing the same thing. Those are the areas of our concern, by the way. We are non-denominational as to where you go. We don't care if you're a helium-3 freak or an elevator freak or whatever. Come on in. Now, we're going to be looking in the space development matrix. Oh, by the way, I meant to tell you, in the encyclopedia, you will find, aside from pure knowledge, you will find color-coded TRL-based knowledge. So a color-coded red is TRL 1, 2, 3. Color-coded yellow is a TRL 3 through 6. And a color-coded green would be a 6 through 9. 6 through 9, been there, done that. That's probably your luncheon speaker. All right, 1 through 6, that means there's room for you to go in there and work on it. And then you will also connect with those other people working, because they may be working on a drill bit. It's going to have some very serious overlapping characteristics with your drill bit, but a drill bit on Mars or a drill bit on the moon has to deal with very different sorts of situations. The dust on Mars versus the sharp-edged, lunar soil, et cetera, et cetera. You're dealing with different things, but you'll create a network of people working on similar things. We're going to be looking at different commonalities. One of the great joys I'm going to have is when we finally do get a conference together, it's going to be like putting these people in one room. It's going to be like mud wrestling. Maybe we'll use lunar simulant wrestling. I don't know. But never mind. The picture just scared me. I could see like one day we would have Zubrin run the Mars session with Chris McKay, Paul Spudis running the moon session, Greg Marinak from SSI running, or Gary Hudson running the free space session. And bring these communities together, because you know what happens, and it's the very premise of what we're about. The edge is where the exciting stuff happens. The edge of people who don't normally talk together, interacting, is where the exciting stuff goes on. And that's what we're going to create. In the mornings, we'll have commonality sessions. So there's a lot in common. I mean, radiation shielding, you're going to need it wherever you go. You're not going to be living on Mars. You're going to be living under Mars, things like that. So we'll be looking at the commonalities. We have a vision, media and art project. Pat Rawlings is one of my co-founders. He's leading that project. We have Jeff Sheets, former lead animator for Babylon 5. We're talking to Dan Curry. We're talking to Doug Trumbull, Mark Maxwell, the guys from NewSpace, all working together. The idea is to create an art and media project that begins to speak of this, where these people can talk together and create art based on real technology and science. That art and that technology and science will interact to create a vision of the future that is both real and possible. And that's what we want them to do. We want them to actually, in a sense, create a school of art, like Impressionism, except it'll be space frontier-related art. Because if you've ever tried to look up an O'Neill colony, except for one or two, you have to go look at Don Davis's pictures from the 70s. And by the way, he's involved as well. Now, Space Law and Policy Council, that's being put together by Steve Wolf. Steve wrote a little law called the Space Settlement Act of 1988 and got it passed and signed by President Reagan. You may not realize it, but for 4 glorious years, it was the law of the United States that human space activities were directed at settlement. We're going to get that back in place again. Steve's going to work on that. And the council, by the way, because lawyers like to feel important, we're going to maybe give them some robes or something, but they're going to speak as a council. They're going to come at law from space settlement. They're not some subset of AIAA or other They're coming from settlement. They're going to take a look at the Outer Space Treaty and maybe write a new one and put it out there. Those kinds of things. And then we're going to create the community and culture. The conferences that we want to put on are going to be like nothing you've ever seen. They're going to be academic. They're going to be published papers, et cetera, et cetera. But when you walk out in the hallways, there's going to be art, design, music, architecture, everything like that. But focused, not yay space. Okay, we are not in the, there's this whole Occupy movement. We are not in the Occupy space movement, all right? We are in the, I love that t-shirt that used to be the conquering of space, the human fist. Anyway, the goal is to become self-funding. The Earthlight Foundation is a 501c3. It has an endowment built in. All contributions will be tithed. And yes, we're probably looking for the same billionaires that Hudson's looking for, and they've got $1 billion, we'll split it, I don't care. We are looking at big ideas. Some of the big ideas, the Watch, Search for the Asteroids, Library of Human Knowledge on the Moon, that was called ARC. Steve Wolf was and I worked on that years ago. Permission to Dream. Science and Theology Symposium, just for fun. I want to get all the religious people and all the scientists in one room together. See if God blows it up. Yeah. We are going to go to the Mormons to get the names on the moon. Now, the ways of getting involved, you can be a donor, you can do any one of these many things. We want to get you involved. Justin Siples is here somewhere in the room. Justin's at the back, he's got a sign-up form. Some of the people involved, again, I should tell you, we have Pat Rawlings, Jack Kennedy, who wrote the original liability law in Virginia and the first zero-G0 tax law, is involved. We're talking to several people. I don't want to mention them unless they've absolutely said yes. Roger Gilbertson from SpaceX. Charles Collis, who's leading our open source hardware project. Charles is the head manager of advanced projects for Dyson Limited in England. I was thrilled to get him. He's the head genius of a genius shop, and so he's on board with us. We've got a great team. We're working hard. We're not going to roll out till we're ready. You guys are, this is like Jay Leno going, shh, to the movie star going, I won't tell them you're wearing ladies' underwear. It's just us, So I know the bloggers are in the back just sending this all over the place. But we're going to come out probably in the July 20th or so as an organization. Aaron Osterly, much to his embarrassment, is also involved with us, works with Jim Muncie, and has been critical in our founding. Thank you, Aaron, for the work you've done. This is about moving beyond the planet. This is about taking us where we can go. It's about creating a new future for us that's worth living into. It's about contextualizing our movement. For people in this room in particular, beyond any other space conference that I may talk at, it's about contextualizing what you are doing into the realm of grandeur that it deserves to be set. You are doing something important. Earthlight is eventually, maybe, it's sort of a sense of who you are. It's not the organization you're in. Somebody might say, well, what are you thinking about space? Well, you might say, I'm an Earthlighter, I'm a member of the National Space Society, and I build rockets. That'll pretty well identify you. You're about human settlement as opposed to just exploration and doing stuff in space. All right? You're a member of so-and-so organization, and you're actually hands-on doing stuff to get there. That's what it's all about. We're excited about this. The goal of this organization sounds big, and that's one reason we bring it down to earth with the hardware development. Anybody who knows me knows I've always been about the big picture and then getting my fingers dirty and my nails dirty. You just saw a little spacesuit company that I'm working with and other people around earlier on. We are all in this together. We're doing a job. We need to be proud of it. We need to go ahead and create a culture and a community that begins to live into what we're doing. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. That's us. That's you. That's me. That's everybody in this room. We are important. We're doing something important. Hang on, if I can get this back. I got a strobe effect going. That's cool. What we're about in the end is bringing something new to the world, something that's important and something that you yourselves can carry back in your hearts and understand. Because we're going to need it when we fail, and we're going to fail. We're going to need it. We're going to need to have that cohesion, that culture that says, get up and go on, because you're doing something that is for something, that's a part of something. And I'll wrap this up, this is the vision statement for us. To carry the light of life to places now dark, the seeds of life to places now dead, and the eyes, hands, and minds of humanity to places yet unseen, yet untouched, and yet unknown. Hear, hear. There you go. That's worth getting up for. Thank you.